My name is Matthew Rose. I'm a defect investigator here at Transport Canada, and I work to identify and manufacture defects in automobiles. What we do here is we do our best to try to provide, Canadian road users with peace of mind and confidence in the vehicle that they have. We like to say, a jack of all trades, a master of none, because you kind of have to understand and have the ability to understand the different technologies that, are introduced in new vehicles. My passion for cars really started at a young age. I grew up in the country, and my dad was a technician, and he has a passion for restoring old cars, and that's what I grew up with. We had a field next to my house filled with old classic cars, and that was my playground. In my circle of friends, I was one of the first guys to get his license, so I'd be driving to Toronto, Montreal, the States with all my friends in tow, and hitting every skate park we could, and then we had seen some grassroots drift events on the Quebec side, and we moved from skateboarding and BMX into racing cars. For us, it was, late nights in the shop. Those were the best nights you could ever have. I don't think a lot of people realize, the car scene that we're fortunate enough to have here. Once I started working here, I started thinking about things in a different light when it came to cars. We very much get to do CSI stuff on cars. I never thought that was a job anyone had. You see the stuff that's on the roads, you see the technology that's involved, and a lot of the new technology that's coming out is making these vehicles safer on the roads. In my role here, I do a lot of 3D scanning. What we have the ability to do is scan a vehicle that's been in a collision, download the EDR data, and I can kind of overlay that in the software. We're essentially able to do our best to recreate the events seconds prior to the collision. I never thought I would work somewhere where the work that I did every day would have such a lasting impact. If you're like me and you were in a position where you knew you were meant for more, meant to do something that really spoke to your passions, go and take a program that speaks to you, is something that you love to do. And when you get out, you will find that job. There just so happens to be a ton of those jobs at Transport Canada and other places in the government where you can be super technical. You have, the support of all your colleagues and your management, and the end result is you get to work on something that is having a lasting impact.